Greetings my dears in love and light. I'm Nikki Sutton and this is a new energy update for February 2018. Now I've been observing some patterns and here they are for you. Now we've had 2 supermoons in January. And the thing about these full moons, especially when their orbit is so close to the Earth, is that it really does affect our moods. It can cause us to have whatever's going on really magnified, and oftentimes it can cause negative emotions to come to the surface, so we can feel really down, or we can feel really intense, or it seems like we've got no control over how we're feeling and how we're behaving. But then after that, it changes things, because they're such polarizing events. After this, we feel different. It is like a purging and a cleansing, very polarizing. Then afterwards things seem to sort of change a little bit. We can be left feeling very different than before. So a phenomenon that is happening quite a bit that I've observed in people is that they're seeing colours. Now oftentimes when you have a Reiki session you can see colours, and that's a wonderful thing. It helps to show you what's being activated. The colours can flood into your mind. Recently I had a Reiki session where I was seeing some green in my mind's eye, and I took this to mean that my heart chakra was being cleansed and opened there with my mind flooding full of green. So people are seeing colours in reality, and they're seeing colours in their mind's eye, not within a Reiki session. Now why would that be? If you're seeing colours, it may mean that there's parts of you being activated. Your chakras are cleansing and opening. And why is that happening? Well, 2018 is a gateway year. In numerology it adds up to 11. There's big happy changes that we're expecting and manifesting. So your mind, body, spirit complex is going to be cleansing out. You're going to be cleansing those negative emotions or traumas and doing your inner work, and your vibration is rising. So if you see, for example, green, that could be a sign that you're moving into your heart chakra, that of love and understanding. The heart chakra corresponds with the 4th density, and that's where we're going. Or 5D. If you see red, that may mean that your root chakra is cleansing out. Perhaps it's a sign that there's some work to be done there. That's the reality that you're living in at that moment. I'm not saying you're constantly living in that colour chakra, but at that time of that day. So it's more signposts where work can be done. So seeing colours in your mind's eye and in reality, it could be to do with inner work and signs from the subconscious of what chakras need working on. You can also see colours around other people, of course, and that's their auras. You might be seeing auras. Our spiritual abilities are really switching on now as the vibration rises, so that may be happening to you more and more as well. So another thing that's happening is people are seeing synchronicities, of course. Now, we mentioned synchronicities a lot because once we realise they're happening, they keep coming, don't they? Creation says, oh, this person knows about synchronicities. Let's keep those signs flowing then. They're paying attention now. So initially you might see the 1111 numbers, and that's a wake-up call, isn't it? That you're awakening or have awakened, and it's like a reassurance that you're on that path. But then you'll start seeing patterns of other numbers, 222s, 333s, lots of 7s, things like that, and they have various meanings that you can look up, and I'll be doing a video on that soon. And just so you know, you don't have to accept the meanings that other people give you. You can have your own meanings, because your guides know what these things mean to you. So when you see those numbers, it doesn't have to be what everyone else thinks it means. It's what it means to you and what it evokes in your subconscious and your intuition. Okay. Now, there's been a bit of a pattern, a flow in the energy that's happened. So generally I've picked up from people that, I'm not saying this is the same for everyone, but in December, towards the end of December, perhaps a little bit of a low mood. Moving into the new year where there's a higher optimism, okay, and a lightening of the mood. And then going into February, I think it's going to be more optimism, but a bit of tiredness as we continue purging. And I think one thing that's been responsible for this sort of swinging is there's been some timelines merging perhaps. And you may have heard about the missile threat that was happening to Hawaii, and that there was a missile alert, and then, oh no, it was just a false alarm. And many believe that there was something happening. So some people are talking about the fact that it was something to do with the cabal, and that it was thwarted, and everything's okay, because the good extraterrestrials aren't going to let things happen to us at this point. Things like that are when we've done a timeline jump. So whatever negative they've got in store perhaps for us, I don't want you to be manifesting this, of course, and I don't want you to worry, but I want you to take comfort in the fact that these positive ETs are not going to let anything happen to us now. They're not going to let anything start. And we need to take comfort in that moving forward. And that gives us a lot of personal power and helps us to manifest positive things, knowing that these positive ETs have got our back and they're not going to let anything incredibly tragic happen. And at that point, when that change happens, many are saying that that's when a timeline jump happens, when the negative goes off one way and we stay on the positive. But it may be there's some bleed throughs from the other more negative timeline, which might be bringing us down and making us feel a little bit sad or negative. We might be intuitively feeling those other potentials that would have been. So that could drag us down a little bit. So when there's something like that happens in the media, like a tsunami warning as well, that just fizzles out, again, it may be that there's some cabal plan or Illuminati plan or something like that that's been thwarted by the positive ETs. I'm just throwing it out there because this is something that's being said at the moment. And then when it's resolved, because they're taking care of us, a timeline split occurs and we stay on the positive one. And we can be happy, we keep riding the positive timeline. But those other feelings from the other possibilities could be bleeding through and just making us feel a bit down for a few days or a week or whatever. Okay. So in addition, there's cleansing or recharging and purging that's going to be happening in February. I think February, because we're really getting going into the year now, into this wonderful year of potential change and happy changes and joy, we're going to be cleansing ourselves and having the urge to meditate, do our inner work and self-care, and feeling good about ourselves. So the urge to cleanse and recharge and purge. And I believe that we'll be feeling more invigorated as we move into February as well, and feeling hopeful too. Another pattern I've seen is that spirit guides seem to be pretty responsive at the moment. Sometimes we feel like our spirit guides aren't with us, or not helping us, or they're not responding to us, or maybe we're asking too much. But there seems to be a pattern at the moment where the spirit guides are quite present and they're helping us out quite a bit. And I think it's because they know they're needed at the moment. We need them for guidance, support and comfort. And so they're quite responsive right now. Plus they're able to, as our vibration rises, it's closer to theirs and we can make contact more easily. And for those who feel they can't make contact with their guides too easily, know that oftentimes if you don't ask, you don't get. And spending time feeling their energy helps you to tune into them. They won't infringe upon our free will. So if you don't ask for help, then you don't always get. Okay, so everyone has guides with them. Try and tune into them in a relaxed state and ask for some help. Not too often, because this is your path, but see how well they respond at the moment. Okay. Now, twin flames uniting. This is definitely a theme of this year, because we need to team up, don't we? And it may be twin flames, not necessarily a partner. It may be a wonderful, amazing friend and someone you feel very connected with. And we're being magnetized together because we incarnate quite spread out, don't we, to form this grid over the planet. But we naturally come together for teamwork, you know, to raise the vibration together. And I can really vouch for that, because in the sessions I've had a massive increase in numbers of people who have twin twin flame related problems or issues, or they're looking for their twin flame, or they feel really activated to look for their twin flame. Now, this subconscious feeling that where we feel like we must find them, that they're out there and we're searching for them, that's not happening by accident. That's the subconscious saying, hey, you know, they're out there and now's the time, being triggered to look for them. I'll just say that looking for them won't necessarily speed up finding them, because if they're due to land on your path at any time, then they're due to land in your path. Looking for them won't change that. So you can always put yourself out there a bit more, you know, go to social groups or what have you. And I met my twin flame on Facebook. So there's no harm in doing that. But if you're due to meet them, creation will put everything into place for that to happen. So there's a lot more twin flames reuniting, or people feeling like they need to look for them. Okay, now we're seeing more awakenings, and we're feeling that effect on the mass consciousness. I don't know if you feel this too, but I know I have a feeling that there's a lot of awakenings happening at the moment. I can feel it subconsciously in the mass consciousness. I bet if you tune in, you can feel it too. There are a lot more awakenings happening, and it's happening exponentially. It's increasing in speed, this happening. I think whether we try or not, we are awakening others just by our energies rubbing off on them, or little things that we say. And as more and more consciousnesses lighten, and as they have these realizations about the nature of self, the nature of reality, and what's going on, we can feel that, there's more joining that cloud of thought I'm in, that vibration I'm in. You can feel it strengthening. So strengthening of the mass consciousness in terms of more awakenings happening and being triggered. Okay, so nearly to the end now. We're going to be in reflection even more and doing more inner work. You may feel the urge to do lots of inner work at the moment because, you know, you're a pioneer too. I say there's other awakenings, but you're coming first. You know, you're in time. You're a pioneer, and by doing your inner work, the others, you can help them when they come along. You may not realise there's things in your subconscious that need healing. So I'll do, say, subconscious exploration and healing sessions with clients via Skype, and we might go in and look for aspects of the mind to know the self better and to heal things, and things will pop up that they didn't even realise needed healing, and it's like, whoa. So this may be happening to you. You may be having realizations about the self and wanting to work on them. Now, here's something that's been happening. Energy surges. Have you been feeling like a sudden energy surge? So not just in terms of suddenly having energy to get up and do something, but a physical energy surge running through you, or detecting a sudden patch of energy in the room, in reality, or feeling a boost, or it may come as static or like a funny fizzling feeling, or it may come as actual energy to move around. Okay, so I think we're picking up on energy boosts. I think the solar energy is affecting us as that changes, as we move through the universe, move through the galaxy. Our solar system isn't stationary, it's moving through the galaxy. I believe it's moving through patches of energy, and we're feeling this. It's like, a boost of energy. So if you're feeling that, I'll be interested to know in the comments, because I've had that reported a number of times. Another thing is feeling okay 1 minute and then quite mixed up the next. Now that might have something to do with these energy surges. It may have something to do with electromagnetic energy from all the cell phone masts and microwaves we're exposed to. But we can feel okay and then quite mixed up and muddled, or brain fog. Others are reported feeling a bit sick. So it's like, okay, feeling good, and then feeling dizzy, mind foggy, maybe a bit of sickness, maybe a bit of tiredness. So I'm thinking that is a symptom at the moment, a physical symptom that's happening. And lastly, as we go through February, we're going to feel more and more tapped into these positive energies. As I say, with the mass consciousness tapped into that, tapped into the Akashic records, and really sensing and feeling our natural environment around us, even the artificial environment, tapped into everything and sensing that oneness. It's so important that we take time to be quiet and just be in silence. Even if you're not meditating, to take time to be quiet and to just contemplate a few things. Choose something to contemplate, reflect upon, not rush over 1,000,000 miles an hour in your mind. But choose a concept to think about, an interesting concept, say the present moment or nature of reality or anything, or even look at a tree and just contemplate the tree, its beauty and its concept of time and how it might feel, and touch that tree and or sit under it or something. Quiet contemplation on simple concepts to help calm the mind. Plus meditation, of course. We need to detach, switch off for a bit, calm that mind and reset so that we can address the world as a clean, fresh slate. Okay, and that's really important to help us feel tapped in, because I think that we can feel more aligned, more tapped in, more one with everything as this month progresses. So I hope you found that helpful today, and thank you so much for watching. Please leave me and others a comment to let us know what you think about the current energies. Support this Spiritual Awakening YouTube channel on Patreon and receive weekly bonus videos. You can also choose to receive spiritual guidance via email or spiritual sessions. And don't forget to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to receive regular spiritual inspiration on your journey through life. Like and share also, because we're raising the mass vibration together. So go now in love and peace.